pre-war museum in northern Denmark says it has found a missing Nazi submarine. Researchers released these renderings of a German U-boat.
For decades, historians insisted that Adolf Hitler died in Berlin in 1945, and that the Nazi regime ended there. But what if part of that story never sank? During a recent deep-sea survey off the coast of Argentina, sonar operators detected something that shouldn't have been there. When underwater cameras were sent down, the image resolved into something unmistakable: a World War II-era German submarine. And that's when everything changed. But before the team could complete documentation, the live feed was cut. Naval vessels moved in, the site was sealed, and the Argentine government classified the discovery for the next 100 years. And that's the biggest eyebrow-raising part. Why lock it away for a century? What was this submarine doing thousands of miles from Europe? And if this vessel reached Argentina, what or who might it have carried? Because this isn't just about a sunken submarine. It's about what it could reveal and why governments don't want anyone asking questions. Let's dive in. The discovery. On March 17, 2024, a private oceanographic survey team began a commercial deep-sea mapping mission in the South Atlantic, off the coast of Patagonia. The assignment was routine: conduct high-resolution seabed scans in preparation for a new transatlantic fiber optic cable linking South America to Europe. On board were marine geologists, sonar analysts, and remotely operated vehicle specialists. It was expected to be another uneventful survey. But 3 days into the mission, roughly 280 kilometers east of the Argentine coastline, a sonar operator noticed something unusual. The anomaly did not resemble natural terrain. It was elongated, symmetrical, precise. At first, they assumed it was signal interference. The operators reran the scan, adjusting angles and frequencies. The image sharpened, but the outline remained. What they were seeing had clear boundaries, smooth curves, and a length far greater than any natural formation in the area. But how could an object like that end up hidden in an ocean so immense? The team deployed remotely operated drones to take a closer look. As the machines sank into the darkness below, the shape began to reveal itself. What emerged was not a typical shipwreck, but a submarine, rusted, scarred, and unmistakably from the Second World War. And yet, it didn't match any known records. Its size, hull design, and construction details didn't align with any submarine officially lost in the region. There was no documented reason for a German U-boat or any wartime submarine to be there at all. The discovery was quietly reported, and interest escalated almost immediately. Soon, authorities took control of the site. The operation was reclassified. Civilian access was restricted. In the days that followed, naval vessels sealed off the area. Shortly afterward, a brief official statement was released. Everything discovered aboard the unidentified submarine, along with its exact location, had been classified as a state secret for 100 years. The ghost submarines. By the spring of 1945, the heart of Nazi Germany was collapsing. Soviet forces were closing in from the east, Allied armies advancing from the west. Inside Berlin, the Third Reich was counting down its final moments. As Soviet forces closed in on Hitler's bunker, Adolf Hitler took his own life. His aides burned his body. Germany surrendered soon after, and the war in Europe came to an end. That is the official story. But history is rarely that simple. While the world focused on the fall of Berlin, escape routes were opening across southern Europe. These routes would later become known as rat lines, networks of safe houses, forged documents, and covert transportation systems designed to move some of the highest-ranked Nazi leaders out of the war zone. Argentina, in particular, became a key destination. Its government was friendly to them, its borders were weak, and it was far from Europe. For years, this was treated as an uncomfortable footnote. Yes, some Nazis escaped. Yes, South America played a role, but it was widely believed they slipped away quietly after the war, disappearing one by one into exile. But the story took an unexpected turn. In July 1945, 2 months after Germany had surrendered, a German submarine surfaced in the Argentine port of Mar del Plata. Its arrival stunned local authorities. The war was over. German U-boats were supposed to be sunk or surrendered in Europe. This one had crossed the Atlantic instead. The submarine was U-530. Interrogations followed. Argentine officials, later joined by American intelligence, searched for evidence of secret landings or hidden passengers. But there were no logs or documentation about the submarine, so the case was closed. Yet the questions did not disappear. On August 17, 1945, only weeks later, another German submarine surfaced in the same port. This time it was U-977. Unlike U-530, U-977 was a smaller Type 7 submarine, a vessel never intended for long transoceanic voyages. And yet its commander claimed to have done precisely that. Once again, the boat was searched. Once again, there were no logs, no records, no definitive answers. 2 German submarines had reached Argentina after the war. The Fuhrer's convoy. With the arrival of U-530 and U-977, a troubling idea began to take shape. If 2 German submarines had reached Argentina after the war, without records, without clear explanations, by 1944, Germany was producing a new generation of submarines, the Type 21 and Type 23, often called electro-boot. Unlike earlier U-boats, which relied heavily on surface travel, these submarines were designed to operate primarily underwater. They were faster beneath the surface, carried larger battery reserves, and could remain submerged for extended periods. In theory, they could cross oceans undetected, unlike earlier designs. For the convoy theory, this was the missing link. What once seemed impossible now appeared technically feasible. As the idea spread, it began to connect with older, unresolved stories. In 1938, a German expedition aboard the Schwabenland traveled to Queen Maud Land and claimed the region as New Swabia. Officially, the mission was described as scientific, but after the war, rumors began to surface. Some claimed the expedition had discovered geothermal areas beneath the ice, places where heat from below created naturally warm caverns hidden deep underground. In 1946, the United States launched Operation High Jump, a massive Antarctic expedition involving warships, aircraft, and thousands of personnel. Officially, it was a training and research mission, and it ended earlier than planned. The planned ending. The modern discovery off the coast of Patagonia changed the story entirely. According to leaked accounts from individuals involved in the recovery, this submarine did not resemble any known German combat class. It carried no torpedo tubes, no visible weapon mounts. Its hull was unusually smooth, shaped for endurance rather than attack. Everything about its design suggested one purpose: travel, not warfare. Engineers who examined the structure believed it was built for long-distance crossings in near silence. The interior layout differed from that of standard wartime submarines. Corridors were wider. Living quarters showed signs of deliberate comfort. This was not a vessel meant to carry a crew into battle. It was built to protect something or someone on a single, irreversible journey. When robotic arms finally breached the sealed compartments, they did not uncover gold reserves or secret weapons. They found something far more personal. The first compartment contained paintings stored in climate-controlled cases. The second compartment revealed architectural models, miniature cities, monumental domes. The third compartment was the most unsettling. It was shielded with lead. Inside were personal uniforms, annotated books, and 2 sealed steel containers. Together, the contents made one thing unmistakably clear. This submarine was not proof of escape. Everything aboard pointed in the same direction. This was not a vessel designed to carry fugitives into a new life. It was designed to carry a legacy away from collapse. If the submarine off Patagonia is authentic, then it compels us to reconsider how the war's final chapter was carefully managed. This was not an escape plan, nor a shadowy tale of survival, but something measured, deliberate, and meant to endure beyond the fall. So what do you think this submarine was really meant to do? Drop your thoughts about this in the comments below. If you liked this video, ensure you give it a thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, because we will be uploading more crazy stories like this one in the coming weeks. Until then, see ya.